Good morning, students. This is Gangadhar, your mathematics teacher, and we are discussing different aspects of the mathematics, commercial mathematics. In the last class, we completed the concepts of profit and loss, whereas in today's class, we are going to discuss about the simple interest. Let us see simple interest. Okay, what is the interest and what is simple interest? First of all, look at the word interest, right? What is the general meaning of interest? Interest in the sense something which is very interesting for us. That in the sense, interest means ఇష్టం. మనకి జనరల్గా ఏది ఇష్టం? జనరల్లీ ద పీపుల్ విల్ షో దేర్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ టువర్డ్స్ వాట్? The people will show their interest in generally towards the money which they gets easier. Is it clear? సో ఊరకనే వచ్చే డబ్బులు అంటే ఎవరికైనా ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఏమంటారు? సో ఊరకనే వచ్చే డబ్బులు అంటే ఎవరికైనా ఇంట్రెస్ట్ కాబట్టి, అండ్ ఫ్రమ్ దట్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఇష్టం అనే ద బేసిక్ ఐడియా, దిస్ గివ్స్ us the simple interest actually. Okay, see how the money they will get easier by this concept of interest. That's what we need to think. Okay, see, in generally, for everything if we borrow, we return it with some amount of rent. Okay, for example, if you lent a house, you need to pay some rent. Okay, if you lend a bike, you need to pay some rent. So in the same manner, if you lend some money from other persons, in returning you need to pay some extra money for them, and this interest is nothing but basically it refers to simple interest, or the interest is just nothing but extra money we need to pay. Okay, so the basic definition, the first point is that simple interest is the extra money we need to pay, extra money we need to pay in returning the amount, which we lent. Is it clear? For suppose if we take some amount of money from other person, then after some time in returning back we need to pay some extra money, and that extra money is usually called as simple interest. Okay, how much extra money we need to pay? That amount of extra money to pay should be discussed at the earlier of the transaction. Is it clear? See, మన డబ్బులు తీసుకునే ముందే ఎంత ఎక్స్ట్రా మనీ పే చేయాలని ముందే అనుకోవాలి. ముందే అనుకున్న ప్రకారం, as per the initial discussion, we need to pay the extra money. Okay, for suppose for example, నేను ఒక 1 lakh rupees తీసుకున్నాను అనుకోండి. నేను ఒక 1 lakh rupees తీసుకున్నప్పుడు at the end of the certain period, at the end of the అనుకున్న టైం ఆఫ్టర్ తర్వాత, అయిపోయిన తర్వాత మనం 1 lakh రూపీస్కి ఎంత రిటర్న్ చేయాలనుకున్నాం. సో ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ముందే మనం ఆ 1 lakh రూపీస్కి ఒక 5,000 రూపీస్ రిటర్న్ చేయాలనుకున్నాం అనుకోండి, ఆఫ్టర్ సమ్ 3 years. సో 3 years తర్వాత ఆ 1 lakh రూపీస్కి నేను 5,000 రూపీస్ యాడ్ చేసి ఇచ్చేస్తాను. సో ముందు మనం ఎలా అనుకున్నామో అలానే జరగాలి. ఓకే, బట్ ఎలా అనుకుంటున్నాం అనే దాని మీద డిపెండ్ అయ్యి డిఫరెంట్ కాన్సెప్ట్స్ జనరేట్ అవుతాయి, లైక్ సింపుల్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ అండ్ కాంపౌండ్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్. Simple interest is one such idea where we need to pay the extra money only at the end of the total period. Okay, so whereas compound interest is a different concept. There we will pay the extra money after in regular intervals of time in the period of borrowing. But whereas in simple interest we just pay the extra money at the end of the time period. Okay, so for example, in another way, if they wish us to pay 2 rupees for every 100 rupees per month. Okay, for example, if they ask us to pay, look there, extra money. See, as per the discussion, extra money is just nothing but rent for money. Extra money is just nothing but rent for money. So as per the initial discussion, the rent for money, if it is some 2 rupees to for 100 for 1 month, if I say like that. See, 2 rupees for 100 for 1 month, if I say like that. For example, if for 1 lakh after 5 months, for 1 lakh after 5 months, how much extra money I need to pay? For 1 lakh after 5 months, how much extra money we need to pay? Let us go for the calculation. See, if you think that we need to pay 2 rupees for 100 rupees in 1 month. Okay, if I used that 100 rupees in 1 month, after 1 month, I will have to return 2 rupees along with that 100. If I took only for 1 month. Okay, and now here I am taking how much amount? As per this, here we are taking 1 lakh rupees. Okay, yeah, right, just think there. See, we need to pay 2 rupees for 100 rupees. Let us look there. Rupees 2 for 100 in 1 month. Okay, in 1 month. And now here we have to calculate the extra money for 1 lakh. See, how to make this 100 as 1 lakh? We will make this 100 as 1 lakh by multiplying with 1000, because 1 lakh will contains 5 zeros and 100 is 2 zeros, right? So you just multiply with 1000, then it becomes 2000 rupees for 1 lakh rupees in 1 month. Is it clear? Yeah. See, if you use 100 rupees, you need to pay just 2 rupees extra in 1 month. If you use 1 lakh rupees, you need to pay 2000 rupees as extra in 1 month. But the time period is also mentioned as here, what? 5 months. And you need to calculate it for 5 months. And it is very clear that if you fix that 1 lakh, this 2000 rupees is for 1 month, and for 5 months, you need to multiply with 5. So, you need to pay an amount of 10,000 rupees for 5 months. And at the end of this discussion, the extra money by using 1 lakh rupees for 5 months we need to pay is 10,000 rupees. That's the very initial way of discussion. Okay, see, this way of expressing the extra money as 2 rupees for 100 rupees for 1 month is usually termed as 2 rupees rate of interest. And if they mention that 1 rupee for 100 rupees for 1 month, then it is defined as 1 rupee rate of interest. Usually in regular life we come across with different words like 1 rupee rate of interest, 2 rupee rate of interest, 3 rupee rate of interest, like that. Okay, and that 1 rupee, 2 rupee, 3 rupee rate of interest is referred as that 3 rupees we need to pay as extra money for 100 rupees for 1 month. But whereas coming to the financial transactions in banking and then banking sectors, there they won't use these type of words like 1 rupee rate of interest and 2 rupee rate of interest. In those financial institutions, they use the words like rate of interest. And the next point, like this 1b, we need to discuss about the idea of rate of interest. Okay, you just look there, you just take everything as one first point, and the second point I will introduce you the concept related to the rate of interest. Just have a look. Yeah, now the second point is just related to the concept related to the rate of interest. Okay, second one, rate of interest. If you say rate of interest is equals to some R%, okay, then what it means? If the rate of interest is R%, it means extra money we need to pay is rupees R for rupees 100 and for 1 year. That's what you need to identify. Okay, R rupees for 100 rupees for 1 year if you use, and if you pay that R rupees as extra, and that R is defined as rate of interest. In our regular life, in our usual transactions, okay, we use the extra money we calculate as per the months. But whereas coming to the financial institutions like banks and the finance organizations, they use to calculate extra money for 1 year. Is it clear? Once again I am repeating you. See, if you say it as for 1 month, then it is directly like 2 rupees rate of interest and 3 rupees rate of interest. If you calculate the extra money compared with 1 year, for 1 year if you calculate, and it is defined as the rate of interest. So if anybody says that rate of interest is some R%, then it represents that they are using, see, we are to pay an amount of R rupees for using 100 rupees for 1 year. Is it clear? Okay. See, if I use 100 rupees, I need to pay R rupees. Once again, I will explain everything here. Just look there. The second situation is extra money. Extra money or just nothing but simple interest. Here in this. Extra money or simple interest. What we need to pay? We need to pay rupees R. Okay. Amount. For how much amount we need to pay that R rupees? For 100 rupees if you use. Time. For how much time? For 1 year. Just look there. For 1 year, if you use 100 rupees, you need to pay an extra money of R rupees. Okay. If you use 100 rupees for 1 year, you need to pay R rupees. If you use 200 rupees, you need to pay 2R rupees. Okay. If you use 300 rupees, you need to pay 3R rupees. Is it clear? And if you use 1000, say something like you say 1000 rupees, then you need to pay 10R rupees as extra money. If you multiply here, you need to multiply here also for that same 1 year. That's what I am saying. Is it clear? You just think about it. If you rise the amount, you need to pay more extra money. If you rise the time, then also you need to pay more extra money. First of all, I will rise the time. For 1 year, I need to pay R rupees. For 2 years, I need to pay 2R rupees. For 3 years, I need to pay 3R rupees. With the same discussion, for T years, if I use an amount of 100 rupees, I need to pay an extra money of T into R rupees for T years. And if you make this 100 rupees as 1, so if you use just 1 rupee for T years, then we need to pay an extra money of TR by 100. Since the time is fixed, if you use 100 rupees, you need to pay TR rupees. If you use only 1 rupee, it is enough to pay TR by 100 rupees. And the next discussion is, if you use some amount of P rupees for T years, for 1 rupee, this TR by 100 is the extra money. For 2 rupees, 2 TR by 100 will become. For P rupees, the extra money you need to multiply with P, and that is PTR by 100 rupees. At the end, if the rate of interest is some R%, and if you are using an amount of P rupees for the time period of T years, then the extra money, simple interest, we need to pay is PTR by 100. Therefore, this is the usual formula to calculate the simple interest, and that is PTR by 100. Where what is P, what is T, and what is R? P is the amount which we use, which we lent for the borrow. Okay, and T is the time period of the transaction. Where R is the rate of percent. This R, rate of percent per annum, usually we say rate of percent per annum. Okay. Sometimes they may give you rate of percent for 6 months and rate of percent for 1 month also. R% per annum. So that R% per annum, if the rate of percent is R% per annum, that R% per annum rate of interest generates this whole discussion, and it generates the usual formula to calculate the simple interest, and that is PTR by 100. And this PTR by 100 is just the extra money what we need to pay. Okay, just have a look. See, to B. P, if you say P is the principal amount. Okay, principal amount, which means the amount which we are taking for the rent. Okay, the amount which we are getting for the usage is the principal amount, and T is time period. Okay, for how much time we are taking that money is indicated by the T, and whereas R is the rate of interest. This rate of interest means we need to pay an extra money of R rupees for 100 rupees for 1 year, that describes the rate of interest. Okay, and if the rate of interest is some R% per annum. Okay, if you look there, P is the principal amount, that the amount which we are taking, and A is the amount which we need to return, amount to return after T years. Okay, then in this case, as we discussed in the above point, the simple interest is given by the rule that PTR by 100, and this simple interest is equals to PTR by 100 is the extra money. Okay, and at the end of the transaction, it is if you pay the extra money, is it enough to complete the transaction? We are paying the extra money. Is it enough? No, we need to pay the original amount also. We need to pay extra money along with the original money, and that original amount, the principal amount along with this simple interest together makes amount to return after T years, and therefore amount in simple interest is equals to principal plus simple interest, and the principal is P, simple interest is PTR by 100, and if you take this P is out, P times of 1 plus TR by 100. At the end, with this complete transaction, you need to memorize that the formula to calculate the simple interest is PTR by 100, as well as amount what we need to return after 3 years is principal plus simple interest. These two things for must you need to memorize. Okay, just have a look, and then I will give you some problems to solve now. First of all, look at the problem B. Okay, see the principal amount here, it is given as 75,000 and the time is 9 months, rate of interest is 8%. We need to calculate simple interest. So the usual formula for the simple interest as we discussed it is PTR by 100. See, in using this PTR by 100, P is principal amount, R is rate of interest, T is time, and the time should be in years, rate of interest should be per annum, and principal is some amount. See, here time and rate of interest should be per annum as well as per years. Here T is given as 9 months, so this is not applicable, this is not helpful to use in this place of T. We need to convert this 9 months into years, and we know that 1 month is 1 by 12 of the year. So if you convert this 9 months into years, it will become like 9 by 12 years, because 1 month is 1 by 12, 9 months is 9 by 12. Now at the end the principal is the same amount and the time is 9 by 12 years, whereas R is 8% divided by 100. And now see, this is equals to principal 75,000 into time 9 by 12 into rate of interest is 8 divided by 100. This is what we need to simplify. Yeah, see, this 0 and 0 usually will get cancelled. So this is 1. And in the next step, 4 3s is 12, 4 2s is 8. And in the next step, 3 3s is 9. So at the end, 3 2s is 6 and this is 750. So 750 into 6 is this simple interest, and that amount we need to pay extra for taking 75,000 for 9 months at the rate of 8% per. See, they are asking us find the amount collected after 1 year for 5,000 rupees. See, we have a formula for the amount. See see how to find out that amount using formula and without using formula, both I will discuss. Just look there. The amount is equals to principal plus PTR by 100. Okay. And that is equals to principal is how much? 5,000 rupees plus this principal is how much? 5,000 rupees into time is how much? Only 1 year as mentioned, and rate of interest is 12% divided by, see 12% is 12 divided by 100. Is it clear? And now look there, 5,000 into 1 into 12 by 100 we need to solve. Here I have two different chances, okay, to say. See, zeros and zeros will get cancelled. Okay, yeah. From there if you calculate, this is equals to 5,000 rupees plus, this is 5,000 plus, what is this amount? Two zeros will get cancelled. 12 5 is 60 and 0, 600. And if you add, the amount we need to pay is 5,600. So this is the usual way of calculation. But now how can I do is, this is 5,000 rupees, okay, and this 5,000 into 12 into 100, this value also can be written as 12% of 5,000. Is it right? 100%. Okay. Since it is 12% of 5,000 and this is 5,000, as we discussed in the concept of percentages, 5,000 plus 12% of 5,000 is nothing but 112% of 5,000. Okay. And then this 112% of 5,000 is just nothing but 112 into 50. And this 112 into 50 is again the same amount, 5,600. But this way of writing is also helpful. Just once again, just look the problem. See, rate of interest is given as 12% and the amount after 1 year for 5,000 rupees. See, the amount is just nothing but 112% of 5,000. That's what you need to identify. 12% is there in the problem. Yeah, principal amount is there in the problem and they are asking us the amount. And that amount is directly 112% of 5,000. Okay, we have the formula like PTR by 100 and we have a chance that P plus PTR by 100 for the amount. See, without using that PTR by 100 as well as that P plus PTR by 100, there is another way of discussion with the percentages concept. So, if the problem is like this, then they ask you to calculate the interest. That interest is directly 12% of 5,000 and the amount is 112% of 5,000. Okay, if it is for 1 year and if it is for more years, you need to multiply the interest for the time being. Okay, you just look there. So this is the usual way, I think you all know, and you need to revise this idea also. Okay, you need to pay your attention on this type of discussion also. Okay, just have a look and then I will discuss 3C. Yeah, what principal will amount to 560 rupees in 3 years at 4% per annum? Time period is given as 3 years, rate of interest is 4%, the amount is 560 and we need to calculate the principal. Okay, here principal P is not known, we need to find. So, and amount at the end of the time 560 is given, time is given as 3 years and rate of interest per annum is given as 4%. Using all this information we need to calculate the principal. Okay, just one simple idea, as I mentioned you, this amount is 560, right, and that implies amount is 560, which means principal plus simple interest is equals to 560. Is it clear? Okay, and that implies principal plus simple interest means what? PTR by 100 is equals to 560. And we need to calculate the principal. You just common out that P. So 1 plus TR. T is 3 and R is 4. TR in the sense 3 into 4. And 3 into 4 is 12. 12 divided by 100 is equals to 560. And we need to calculate. 100 plus 12 is 112 by 100, right? So P into 112 by 100 is equals to 560. Okay. Then how to simplify? The way of simplification you need to know. This 112 5 is 560. Okay. That calculation you need to know. Okay. 112 5 is 560. And if you send this 100 that side, P will become 500. And that's the principal amount. And this is the way of calculating the principal if amount is known. Just have a look. So fourth one, a person Murthy deposits 4,000 rupees in a bank at 15% per annum and 6,000 rupees in another bank at 16% per annum. So since the rate of interest is different, automatically you will get different interest from the first bank as well as from the second bank. And the discussion is find the rate of interest on the whole sum. That in the sense, he is depositing 4,000 rupees in one bank at 15% per annum and 6,000 rupees in another bank at 16% per annum. For suppose if he deposits the total 10,000 rupees in some another bank, okay, at what rate of interest you need to deposit in that bank to maintain same amount of extra money? Okay, what I am telling you is, see, Murthy deposits 5,000 rupees, 4,000 rupees in first bank. He will get some rate of interest. And he deposits 6,000 rupees in another bank. He will get some rate of interest. Now his thinking is, if he deposits the total 10,000 rupees in a bank and he need to get the same interest amount, same extra money as the extra money from these two banks. So to do that work, at what rate of interest he need to invest? Is it clear? ఫస్ట్ బ్యాంక్ నుంచి కొంత ఎక్స్ట్రా మనీ వస్తుంది, సెకండ్ బ్యాంక్ నుంచి కొంత ఎక్స్ట్రా మనీ వస్తుంది. ఇలా రెండు బ్యాంకుల్లో ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేయకుండా మొత్తం 10,000 రూపీస్ తీసుకెళ్ళిపోయి మూర్తి అనే వ్యక్తి ఏ బ్యాంకులో ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేస్తే ఈ ఫస్ట్ టూ బ్యాంక్స్ నుంచి వచ్చేటువంటి ఎక్స్ట్రా మనీ ఇంట్రెస్ట్కి ఈక్వల్గా ఉండే ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఇస్తుంది, అది మనం సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకోవాలి. ఓకే, దట్ మీన్స్ మూర్తి ఈజ్ సర్చింగ్ ఫర్ ఎ బ్యాంక్ which gives the extra money as equal to the extra money from these two banks. So we need to find out the rate of interest of that particular selected bank. Is it clear? So for example, the first transaction he is depositing 4,000 rupees in a bank at 15% per annum. So that's why what is the extra money from the first bank? Right? Here per annum is mentioned though, so time period is not given. So for 1 year the extra money from the first bank. From the first bank the extra money, and from the second bank extra money is equals to the new bank the extra money. Okay, so extra money from the first bank plus extra money from second bank, the sum should equals to the extra money from the new bank. Okay, that's our discussion. So from the first bank the extra money is given by principal amount is what, 4,000 rupees into rate of interest is 15 and time is 1 divided by 100, plus from the second bank principal is 6,000, rate of interest is 16 and time is 1 year divided by 100 is equals to, and from the new bank he need to deposit the total money 6,000 and 4,000, the sum of these two amounts 10,000 rupees in a new bank of rate of interest R. That rate of interest we need to calculate for 1 year divided by 100. So see, these hundreds everywhere will get cancelled, and then in the next step 3 zeros and 3 zeros and 3 zeros also will get cancelled. Here 4 into 15 is 60 plus 6 into 16 is 96 is equals to 10 or you will get, and 96 plus 60 is how much? 96 plus 60 and divided by 10. So 90 plus 60, this 10R is equals to 156 and R is equals to 15.6. So if Murthy chooses a bank where it gives a rate of interest of 15.6%, then the extra money from the new bank is equal to the sum of the extra monies of the first bank and the second bank. Just have a look.